For the past 48 hours, there have been ongoing coup attempt in Ivory Coast. It is alleged that France already deployed their troops to the country capital. Watch this.
Macron is begging. Ouattara is on the run. Troops are sent to Ivory Coast. Traoré is still in their book. Not to favor him, but to look for every possible means to distract him and possibly to take him down. You can believe this, that even America has about 750 military bases across the nations of the world. Great China doesn't have any military base in any country of the world. Africa does not have military base in any country of the world. France has a lot of military base in Africa. You're welcome again, my fellow Africans, patriotic citizens of Africa. No matter where you are, no matter the country you live, you are an African first before you become anything. Here is the new strategy that is being mounted to destabilize Africa. Recently, we understand that the economy of France is tanking. That means it's going down. And there is more pressure for Macron to resign. About a week ago or so, his prime minister, his right-hand man, got to resign and submit his resignation letter. There was no opposition to that. But because of the colonial mentality, master-to-slave mentality that they have in Africa and for Africans, you realize that Ivory Coast went into chaos about 24 hours ago. And guess what France did? France decided to send troops. When the voice of the people is loud and they are rejecting their own leader because the leader is no longer serving the interests of the people, Macron decided to send troops to Ivory Coast, not to protect the Ivorians, but to protect their very own, who happens to be Ouattara, the president. So, but when his own prime minister was passed a vote of no confidence, there was no military to go against that. The prime minister quietly submit his resignation letter. If Macron is a wonderful friend to Africa, why didn't Macron ask Ouattara to resign and to submit his resignation letter? But instead, because Africa is like a property to France, they send troops to come and destabilize the people and to unalive the people, because the people of Africa mean nothing to France. For decades, this has been the debate. This has been the way of treating Africans all over the world. Whether you are in France as a black person or you are in America as a black person. Recently, you see the negotiation between America and Africa, Ivorians, to set up a military base. Why do they want to set up a military base in Ivory Coast? It's because of the same reason, the same way they see black people all over the world. That is the same reason why they want to do whatever they want to do. You can see what happened between Donald Trump and the president of South Africa about a few days ago when he was invited to the Oval Office. They were showing him a video after sending a narrative that the Afrikaner in South Africa, they were threatened, they were under some sort of abuse, and they were given an open invitation as a refugee to come settle in America. When that was proof abortive, they try to humiliate him, to disgrace him, to make him to do what is not consistent with the constitution of South Africa. And that is why I say, Africa, you must wake up. Whether you are a South African, whether you are a Nigerian, whether you are a Ugandan, whether you are an Ivorian or you are a Burkinabe, it doesn't really matter. Where you came from does not really matter. Africa's rise is not a matter of chance. Africa's rise is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Have we decided? Are we ready to rise? Are we ready to rise? I see even a lot of people creating content out of what's supposed to lead to an education and revolution in Africa. It is not a matter of chance that Africa is going to get to the next dimension, but it's going to be a matter of strategy. It's a matter of timing. The wealth of a continent is not absolutely dependent on its resources alone, but on its people. Partnership and purposeful timing. So if the people are destabilized, disunited, then the resources become useless. Until the people are empowered in Africa and the light of the continent begin to shine on everyone in Africa, then we are not ready for what needs to happen in Africa. The call for a new Africa is not for tomorrow. I read in the comment section when I did a video a few hours ago, somebody says, we are left in the hands of God. And that is what your colonial master wants you to believe, that you are left in the hands of God. They want to send you to mosques to go pray. They want to send you to churches to go pray. Why they take advantage of your resources? Why they destroy every single thing? It is time for Africa to wake up and learn. It is time to learn. It is now. It is a sense of urgency that we need. This call is a sense of urgency. The demand on every single person in order for us to create a new Africa, we need to approach this with a sense of urgency. A new breed of leaders is what we need. Obviously, Ouattara and Paul Biya of Cameroon, these people, they have done whatever they need to do. They have reached their limit and there is nothing they can offer to Africa anymore. Nothing they can offer. We talk about Museveni of Uganda. He has done whatever he needed to do for Ugandans, but right now he has nothing to offer. There is a certain limit where your brain can take. We need to open our mind. Macron has nothing to offer Africa. Now going back to Captain Ibrahim Traore to beg for them to come back to Burkina Faso so that they can negotiate on the table, we don't have time for that. Absolutely, we don't have time for any negotiation. We want to put our home together. When your house is on fire, it's not the time to sit down on the table to negotiate. It is time to put out the fire. It is time to calm down. It's to calm down the situation. It is time to fix the problem. And for decades and for centuries, if France truly have the best interest of Africa, they could have fixed whatever they need to fix. Not now that we want to fix it and they say, hey, bring us into the table. What exactly are we discussing, Macron? What exactly are we talking about? You 47 years old, you've kept 83-year-old man in power. You left 93-year-old man in power to lead Africa to where exactly? Where are we going? And these are your friends. These are the people you call leaders of Africa. And when they come to France, you make them look like your boys. You should be ashamed of yourself. Enough is enough. Africa must rise. And now is the time for Africa to rise. If you love Africa, you want to keep your comment under this video and message clean. We don't want a strike from TikTok. You want to share this message. You want to spread this because every single person in the continent of Africa needs to understand the direction we are going. Enough is enough. For years, they will cost a lot of things to distract Africans so that we can make noise, and once the noise is over, they'll do whatever they want to do. If the only thing you know about Africa is to make noise, then you are not part of this movement. We're looking for those who are ready to learn, to think, to rationalize, and to observe, and to commit themselves to the transformation of Africa. You shouldn't allow your religion to divide who you are as a patriotic citizen of Africa. Your culture, where you're coming from, your tribe, your clan, shouldn't be a division between us. Because if they can divide us because of our clans, our religions, our state, our local government, district, then they can conquer us. But now is the time for us to speak one voice. One voice. Every single person that is an African has the blood of Africa, whether you're white or you're black, is immaterial. What we know is that you are an African and you are a patriotic citizen of Africa. If you love Africa, type I love Africa. I want you to express yourself in the cleanest form under the comment section. I want you to spread this news. It must get to every single person on the street of Africa. Whether you are sweeping on the street of Ouagadougou, or you are in Nigeria, or you are in Ivory Coast, it doesn't really matter. whether you are on the top government officials, it doesn't really matter. Whoever you are first off an Africa. And this is the message that we must pass. We must not allow this destruction to continue in Africa.
So the coup that was undergoing in Ivory Coast, which started from the 19th of this month until yesterday, did not go on well. Now, when it started, it is alleged that the president of Ivory Coast fled and went and hid until everything settled. What we actually know is that the chief staff of defense was unalived after meeting the younger brother of the president, who has been appointed to be the chief of the military in Ivory Coast. So he was unalived, his car was shot, and while they were taking him to the hospital, unfortunately, he lost his life. But we know that there is a next time. There is a clip showing President now back on course, and he was chairing a cabinet meeting, trying to talk about how they are going to prevent any other. But we actually know that it is going to happen very, very soon. Now, the reason as to why we are saying this is because this person has been a threat to our captain, Ibrahim Traore. And just the other day, Ibrahim Traore said that the enemy of Burkina Faso is in Abidjan.
Drop your thoughts on the comments section. Tell us what you think about this. See you in the next video.